runners at second base relaying signs. This happened. I think Josh Naylor was doing it. This happened in the Phillies series. And my thought was always just like, as a catcher, are you able to see and kind of like, is it, are you keeping an eye on that? Is the pitcher supposed to be keeping an eye on that? Because it's happened a couple of times.
I think it's coaches, the pitcher, and me. The catcher is always well, like especially for me, if I'm kicking out too early and they're relaying in or out and they're flashing hands over here and here, it's like it's pretty obvious, or they're crossing their foot in front to tell you if it's in, and if they're shuffling, if it's away, it's like you got to really make sure. And the Dodgers are really good at it. I mean, a lot of teams are good at it. You just don't see it. And I mean, you have pitch comp now, so you got to take every advantage you can. And if you're going to give it to you, you might as well utilize it because you either got to be better at not tipping or you got to either throw 100 and make sure they don't hit it because they know what's coming. And you could do whatever. Like that's why it's always tough. You don't want to step too early, but if a guy wants a kind of the pitch location early, it's like you're going to get it's going to be tough because you're going to know where it's going. And so I try to just like set up middle, and I'm a big guy. So it's a lot of guys tell me it's easy to throw because I'm always in the middle of the plate. And even if I set up on the outer quadrant or inner, like they're telling me I'm still on the plate. So my situation might be a little different, but it's all you got to make sure the pitcher's not say if he's here or here. And if you see that as a catcher, you go out and say it. But like it's sometimes in the heat of the moment, you don't see it. But you can kind of pick up when a guy, the next three guys get hits and they're both just like doubles, all doubles. And you're like, okay, they're either I'm tipping or he's tipping. And then once you get out of the inning, it's like, hey, oh, so and so was doing this and they picked it up quick. And I was like, that's quick because I didn't even see it. Or, hey, you're kicking out too early. Don't kick out too early. Because we had in Houston, they were telling guys what pitches were coming from the first base and third base coaches, I think. So
Yep.
we were like I wasn't moving until like late and then they started not hit and I was like, okay, they don't know what's coming now.
There's so much anti-tipping and anti like you just have to be. Yeah, you're right because from your perspective, from like the tipping part of it, where it's like a lot of it is like glove placement, so it's like you kind of you're obviously you're looking at the way the hitter is, so it's like you have to be aware for that. Also, it's just like, have you ever caught guys like peeking like at the plate? Maybe not. Maybe there's not a runner on, but like I noticed this. Maybe it was like the Tigers M series where it was like you're right. The catcher was like he was kicking out, he was setting up on the outer part of the plate, and then dudes wouldn't even like think about swinging at the slider over there. Like there's so much stuff that goes on that like you just have to be on.
And that's the thing is like if they're peaking, like yeah, okay, if you really want to peak, there might be a fastball coming at your rib if there's a veteran that doesn't care. But like no one really hits at people anymore, so it's like you just got to be smart. Like I talked to Trevi a lot about it, and it's just like you got to know when to kick out, how to do it. If you know the guy has a backswing, or if he's a dumper that could cause catcher interferences, we all have the information. So it's really just like timing on your part because if you have a pitcher that wants the location of where it's going early, it's like okay, then put your glove there and just kick out or something that you don't do different on certain pitches because some catchers would be like are up tall on fastballs, and then when sliders are he bends over. So it's like, okay, hey, we'll tell you when it's a fastball slider because the catcher's doing this on certain pitches. So there's a lot of anxiety and like stress that goes into it. And obviously at this time of the year with playoffs, like you're on edge and you need to know. And like I talked to Trevi a lot about it because when he was at playoffs with the Yankees, it's like there's a lot of stress but the preparation, we always talk about if you do the preparation, you prepare and you do all your stuff, you shouldn't have that stress or anxiety. And if you do, then just do extra things that you think are going to calm you down because at the end of the day, it's still a game. Like you're trying to prepare for the guy on the mound. And yeah, baseball, it's more probably looked at in the playoffs, but I still think you still got to do, if you do your routine, your preparation, all the things you usually do in the regular season, it shouldn't change how you feel.